yesterday, the Ballon d'Or nominations came out. So let's take a look at the 30 names on this list for football's most prestigious individual honor. Noteworthy, though, this is the first time since 2003 that Lionel Messi and Cristiano Ronaldo, those two names are not included. First time in 21 years.
So you know what that
one
means?
Of those guys are not on there. What does it mean, Charlie? Tell me.
We got a guaranteed first-time winner.
That's pretty cool.
Because Luka Modric and Karim Benzema are the only two players who are currently playing who have won a Ballon d'Or who are not on the list. So therefore, we get a guaranteed first-time winner.
What name shocks you the most from this list?
Which name excites me the most?
Shocks you.
Shocks me the most.
Yeah. Not for a bad reason. It could just be a good reason.
I'd say Vitinha.
Vitinha is one of the ones that stand out. Artem Dovbyk had a really good season. I wouldn't say it was like Ballon d'Or worthy, but an incredibly good season.
Adamo Lookman.
Lookman, yeah.
No, you score a hat trick in a Europa League final.
And that makes you a Ballon d'Or candidate?
Yeah.
Because of one game, because of 90 minutes of soccer?
He had fantastic performances throughout the season, but if you score a hat trick in a European final, you think you're not going to get on the list?
So if he didn't score that hat trick in 90 minutes, he convinced France Fútbol in 90 minutes. 3 goals in 90 minutes to be amongst the 30 best players in the world. Would you take? I have a question.
Yes.
Today, would you take Messi or Adamo Lookman?
Messi, when he's fit.
Right.
Right, but he's not.
Okay. The day before the final for Atalanta, I tell you, you can either choose Adamo Lookman or Messi to play for your team.
Is Messi fit or is he
he's fit.
still
Of course
nursing
he's
his injury?
fit. No, of course he's fit.
I'm taking Messi. It's Messi we're talking about.
Should Messi have been included in this list of 30 names? Was there a case to be made for him?
He was never going to win the Ballon d'Or, not even top 3.
He's going to win it, but should he have been included in the 30?
He shouldn't have.
He should not.
It's very difficult to make an argument for Messi to be on a list.
You look at his Copa America performances. You look at his performance. He hasn't been healthy.
But even
how can you be on this list?
Didn't you get the sense that the last year was a bit of a swan song for him? It was like, all right, you won the World Cup. You did everything you were supposed to do.
Yeah.
You're done. You're good. You know. Now let's move on. Let's get the younger generation.
Yeah. Then I don't know. I'm looking at this list, and you say first-time winner. Don't you feel it's a little bit weak?
No. Jude Bellingham, Erling Haaland, Vinny Jr.
Rodri.
Yeah.
Rodri had a really strong season.
But
this is a list where I look and I go, you don't have to be a crazy mercurial striker or goal scorer to win the award. Rodri, even Denny Carvajal have every right to be on this list, and
absolutely.
And also, I'm excited about that.
There's an ushering of a whole new generation. We're all Lamine Yamal certainly deserves to be on the list. You've got Florian Wirtz, maybe not the strongest candidate after his Euros, but deserves to be on the list. You have some new talent now, Jude Bellingham being as young as he is. You have some new talent that deserves to be on this list. I actually like the fact that it's ushering in a whole new generation.
For sure.
People we'll probably be seeing on these lists for year after year after year.
I agree. But I look at this list without Messi, without Ronaldo, and we were so spoiled almost for the last 20-something years to get extraordinary lists of Ballon d'Or candidates that are all-timers, every single one of them, 1 through 10. And I'm looking at this list like Artem Dovbyk is on there. He had a great season with...
This is 30, though. This isn't the 1 through 10.
Right. I get it. But if you look at the extended list, the last time that Cristiano Ronaldo and Messi weren't there, and you look at the extended list, not just 1 through 10, 1 through and several notables they're like legend.
These are really young guys.
And in hindsight, I might be wrong. In hindsight, I might be wrong. Yeah. But are these guys going to be fulfilling the potential that a 2003 nominee list?
Would you have said that about Luka Modric when he was on Tottenham?
Yeah, but he wasn't nominated for Ballon d'Or. But then on Real Madrid, when he was nominated, he was the guy. You know, like a lot of the guys that were nominated. If we could see that list from 2003.
Wait, you're saying Kylian Mbappe?
Oh, here we go.
Vinny Jr.
But this is
Look at Pavel Nedved.
Look at that list.
Wow.
Look at that.
Yeah, but that's in hindsight.
Yeah, dude.
That's in hindsight.
You're going to be the guy that before you're even 50, you're going to say, back in my day. I could feel that about you.
I'm 30. I'm 30, and I'm saying it already.
Have you thought about what Erling Haaland's doing now?
Yeah,
What
of
do you
course.
think in 20 years?
I'm not saying not the notable.
He's not even the top candidate on the list we just looked at.
I know.
Which is crazy.
Not the notable nominees on the right-hand side for 2024. I think there's a group of 6-7 guys that are very well deserving of the award,
Okay.
and they have a
Who
potential.
has the strongest case, in your opinion?
I don't think anybody has a clear-cut strong case like front runner,
I disagree.
obvious front runner.
I disagree. I think Vinny Jr.
Vinny Jr.
had an incredible season, scored in the Champions League final. As far as I'm concerned, scored the winning goal in the Champions League final.
You're not adding country form.
No.
in that.
He played.
That plays a big role.
He played 3 games in the Copa America, and then got suspended for the quarterfinal that Brazil got eliminated in. To further my point, usually in the Ballon d'Or race, someone has a strong year, a robust year of racking up titles, league, international with the club, and with the country to kind of just seal the deal. The only Spanish guy that won champions, that won this league, and that won the Euro is Dani Carvajal. They're not going to give it to a right back.
No. And would you hold it against Erling Haaland, his international form, his lack of his country even qualifying?
Yeah, and I mean,
when he's one of the
point.
greatest players in the league right now.
I know.
In all leagues.
yeah, I mean, similarly, what about Rodri with Manchester City? Rodri was great with Manchester City, and he was phenomenal in the Euros. Phenomenal. He very well could be a front runner too.
I could see him winning. It would probably be the most boring is a strong term, but it would be the most boring pick if he wins. I couldn't think of a better word.
Even if you went with Jude Bellingham, it's still not like your typical Ballon d'Or winner who's banging in 30,
But think
40
about-
goals in a
Of
season,
course, especially because he had
Bellingham,
such a
though.
rough second half of the season.
He had an incredible first half to the season,
Yeah.
but they win a Champions League final. England makes it to the finals in the Euros. I mean,
Was he good at the
collectively,
Euros?
He scored. He had the
Was England good,
game-changing
period,
goal,
at the Euros?
the winner.
Against Slovakia?
Yeah. But again, big moments.
I don't think he had
in big moments.
I don't think he had a Ballon d'Or performance at the Euros. I think Rodri had a more Ballon d'Or worthy performance at the Euros than Jude Bellingham.
If you're saying both club and country, Rodri is the only answer.
He is.
He
Danny
performed
Carvajal.
on both levels, and Carvajal.
Yeah.
But in terms of those two, I think Rodri would win it over Carvajal.
Can I throw someone out there that obviously is not going to win, but has club and country? Lautaro Martinez was top goal scorer of Serie A, won the Serie A, and won the Copa America, being top goal scorer at the Copa America.
It's a great shout. Why?
It's
why
not
will
gonna
he
happen.
But why will it not happen? Why will he get overlooked?
Inter
Would you
didn't
say-
have a strong
would you say
Champions League.
He's a starter 100% for Argentina? Because he didn't start every match for
No,
Copa America.
I know.
So,
No,
I mean,
you wouldn't.
How can you give a Ballon d'Or to someone who doesn't even start on their national
Yeah,
team?
I know. It's crazy. It's crazy. This is where we are. Usually, there's a guy that it's like, okay, he smashed it. Like the year Luka Modric smashed it, and Luka Modric got to the final of a World Cup, right?
Yeah.
Luka Modric was there in every competition. You say, okay, even if he didn't win all of them, he's primed to be the best player in the world.
Deserved it.
I don't know. We can even say that about Bellingham, who got to a final of the Euros. Not even Rodri didn't get to finals of the Champions League, but
Let's also not forget that this is essentially a popularity contest. The standards.
no, but this is no.
Okay,
This is
can you
the
remind me
fan.
who votes, Charlie?
The top 100 journalists.
Yeah.
The top journalists from the top 100 FIFA men's ranking
Okay.
countries. Those are the
So not us.
journalists.
Yeah.
Not us. who vote.
I was checking my email and I'm like, man, when is it coming through?
So it's not necessarily a
What I'm,
popularity contest.
what I'm
It's not
simply saying
fans
is
just
the
voting in.
standards with which we're holding it is not exactly how the voting is always going to go. And if you're only going to give it to someone who's performing at the top, club and country, then you're down to Rodri and Carvajal. That's it.
Yeah, I think this was
Maybe
a tricky
Lamine
one because
Yamal.
you need to look at it. You need to look at it from a purely football perspective. Who's the best player in the world? Because I think it's difficult if you're just leaving it at accolades for the season, right? For the 2023-2024 season, you got to see who is, and Rodri is very well could be there. When France Football paired itself with FIFA and they were doing captains for all member associations, coaches for all member associations, a journalist from every member association, and I think there was a percentage of fan vote, if I'm not mistaken. I think there it was more of a popularity contest, but here I trust France Football has an unbelievable track record of prestige and credibility for their journalists to kind of make the right choice here.
I mean, I think the only guaranteed thing is the Copa Trophy to Lamine Yamal.
Yeah.
That's the only guarantee. Best young player.
Fair. All right, let's turn it over to the women's Ballon d'Or nominees. Take a look at the 30 names that make up that list. Aitana Bonmati, last year's winner, right there. Sophia Smith, Mallory Swanson. But the big shock on this one, people were quite upset that Naomi Girma was not included on this list, which does seem to be an egregious omission.
Yeah, the best central defender in the women's game. You know, another central defender, William Saliba, got on the list for the men's side, but she doesn't get on this one, and I would compare their games. It's pretty crazy.
How do you feel about that, Chuck?
Yeah, it's unfortunate because she definitely deserves to be on this list.
She was arguably the best player on
Yes.
the pitch in the Olympics.
She's arguably the best center back in the world.
Yeah.
She was sensational.
Sensational. So when you look at this list, Alexis, I mean, last year it felt like it was pretty obvious that Bonmati was going to win, especially on the heels of what Spain had done in the World Cup. It was Alexia Putellas the year before, but this year it feels like it's a little bit less obvious, similar to the men's. Would you agree?
Yeah, I think the same qualifications that we have for the men, we're going to have to consider for the women. Because when, like you said, when Aitana Bonmati won, everyone knew this is the best player in the world right now. There's no one that absolutely stands out that you say had an incredible international, tournament, had an incredible season, scored the most in their league, so on and so forth. Maybe Champions League if you're taking into consideration just the Europeans. There's no one that stands out at that level that I've seen on this list that you immediately say that's the one. I could see Aitana Bonmati winning it again, though.
If you had to vote for an American, who would you give your vote to?
That's the problem with the Americans is they're going to probably split their votes because I don't think you would say all would say Trinity Robin. I don't think all would say Sophia Smith or Mal Swanson.
Yeah. Sophia Smith probably edges everyone out just because of her versatility.
I think Lindsay Herrera will get votes. So I feel like the Americans are all working against each other in this scenario. But if you're looking at some of the other candidates, Khadija Bunny Shaw, had she not torn her ACL, she was crushing it.
Yes, she was.
Is Barbara Banda on there?
Myra, yes, she is. Myra Ramirez was sensational for Colombia and for Chelsea. I mean,
Just
she left Levante to go to Chelsea, and I thought, she absolutely lit the league on fire. She was incredible. And then I'll always be a huge fan of Caroline Graham-Hansen. She is such a baller.
Yeah, great job.
So there are a number of top players.
It's interesting, both with the men's and women's, there's no clear front runner.
It's good.
Not a gray area. Yeah. Makes for interesting conversations for us.
It does feel like some of the American names are at a slight disadvantage because there's the lack of Champions League. Champions League gives the Europeans just a little bit of extra sauce. It's true.
Hey,
it's true. Hey, I'm so sorry. Imagine. Oh my God.
well, Lindsay Horan plays Champions League.
Yeah, that's true.